state where secrets hide. In Tampa Street, she seeks out lies. With a sharp eye, she'll reveal the truth. Justice calls and she pursues. From county jails to hallowed courts, she finds truth where they distort. Fearless heart and mind so keen, Sam unravels tangled seams. The truth is buried deep in files. Fairness is what they try to hide, but Sam prevails. She's got your back. With grit and grace, she never lacks. Uncover lies and play no games. From jails to halls where verdicts lay. Truth her compass, come what may. Footsteps echo in the night. She chases justice with the light. A warrior for justice for all. She won't stop when she hits a wall. Florida P. Sam is her name. Uncover lies and play no games. From jails to halls where verdicts lay. Truth her compass, come what may.
I think I'm here. Am I here? Am I here? I did it. Sorry. Hi guys. I'm so sorry. Having some issues. Obviously, I'm apologizing. I'm not even started and I'm already apologizing. Um, you don't do it for a week and you forget absolutely everything. How are you guys tonight? Um, it's good to see you guys. Hello. Yeah, you know me. It is what it is, right? So, hi everyone. It's hi Afton and C Morales and Kelly Collins and Laura Long, Barry, Kelly. I just said Kelly. Afton, Cindy. Hello. Am I too loud? Guys, and you guys can see my dad is back in chat. He was here last week, but now he's actually home. So, that's awesome. Hi, C Morales. Hello, Laura. Thank you for putting me in your stream today. I appreciate you very much. Let's see. Hi, Great Gams. How are you? Hi, Susie. Hi, Mom. Hi, Cindy. Dad. All right. Did I get you all? Barry. Okay, so I need some help because you guys are going to be eyewitnesses. We're going to have to identify someone. But before I get into that, thank you all for all of those of you who have become members. I really appreciate it. I did two little members videos, and there are more coming. It's a matter of remembering, one, and two, time. So I want to talk to you guys for a minute about time. I could not be more excited that this channel hit 1,000 subscribers. I told you before, it took me 5 years to get myself onto this platform. I'd love to spend a lot more time than I do being in other people's chats, doing more research, producing more content for you guys, doing all kinds of fun YouTube things to grow this channel. And also, after 5 years, my work has just sort of exploded at the exact same time. And I've talked to you a little bit about it before, in that I have some big trials coming up this year, some big trials. But I also have trials every single month starting, I think, in July. I have to look. Um, the one thing I do not have right now is extra time at all. I've got some help, and we still don't have enough time. I now own an 18 terabyte drive. The amount of discovery and digital discovery in particular that is coming in is gigantic. And as I've talked about before, and as you know already, the digital stuff is like kind of above the lawyers' heads to some extent. They expect me to go through it, identify where we need experts, then help them obtain the experts, and all of the fun things. The cool thing is that I have work coming in my cases that is going to overlap nicely with some of the cases that you guys may be following on YouTube. I don't pretend to try to do legal argument analysis and all of that stuff here. I try to give you a view from my perspective as a member of the defense team that's also supposed to analyze a lot of information and know a lot of things, and then produce it in a format that is acceptable to the lawyers. And I go to trials most of the time, not all the time, depends on the lawyer, depends on the court. So I have a lot of digital stuff coming. Like it's here. Either I'm waiting on court orders for some stuff, or I'm waiting on the discovery for other stuff, but mostly right now it's court orders. What I figured out is that some of what I have to learn about and understand really well for my own work is stuff that I talk to you guys about. And it's also stuff that is going to show up, like I said, in cases that are coming. So to whatever extent possible, I'm going to learn with you. I'm going to do my work. And I do this anyway when I'm working. I was like, oh, that would be great for YouTube. And it goes into a file or a folder or a sticky note or somewhere, right? But I'm going to have to rely more on that right now than I ever have in the past. And the other thing that I'm going to have to do right now, and I don't want to do it, is I'm going to take these streams to every other week. I have canceled on you every other week, and it's just, I can't pull it together. Like, my point to come here is to give you correct information. It is not to give you incorrect information. And so to pull it together to the level at which I hold myself means that it requires focus, time, and attention. You don't come here to hear a bunch of BS from me. Sometimes I give you rants about all kinds of things, which I appreciate you giving me the outlet to do that. Um, and I'm sure there are many more rants coming down the pike. But I want to put the content that I put out on YouTube, I want it to be good content. And I'm in a place where, according to the YouTube metrics, most of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribers, which is upside down from how it is for a lot of channels. A lot of channels, people that watch the videos are not subs. So it's good, right? There's a core group of you that keeps coming back. That's not to say I don't want this channel to grow. Please share it with your friends if you think they would like to hear my ramblings. Um, I have lots of ideas. I have lots of things I want to do, but I also have to feed the very fat cat that lives here. So for now, I'm going to take this down to every other Saturday. I don't want to. I'm going to try really hard to put up like some shorter bits and pieces and do some members only stuff. Um, but I don't have a choice. Like it sucks because you get to a point where you've got some momentum going and it's like, yes, I want to capitalize on the momentum, but I can't I just I can't. I can't. I can't. So let's see what you guys have to say about my current rant. Yes, Larry Powers, Private Eyes Power watching you. I love that song. Um, Cindy is asking, Sam, are you feeling better after the court case last week? Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Let me see, that's my comments so I can remember to go to my star comments. I swear I'm here, you guys. I am. I promise. Um, uh, you guys are too funny. So Cindy says, Sam, I hope you're feeling better after the court case last week. I am still sort of, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it was a little members video I did. Well, I did two of them about the case I've been talking about on here since the beginning. It was supposed to be, I'm not crying, I promise, Laura. Um, but thank you. It was supposed to be the sentencing for the kid that I've been talking about since I started this channel. So, yeah, I don't know, Cindy, am I feeling better about it? I don't know. Honestly, I'm still, it's like in the queue of stuff to process. Um, yeah, terabyte Saurus, exactly. Yeah, 18 terabytes is a lot. Yes, Amy Crew, my dad is back home. I'm sure he is glad to be there too. Um, Oh, Laura, I hope your personal issue is okay. Thank you for being here. And yes, I'm sure Henry will come out of the shadows. Um, Larry and Kelly Collins, a bunch of us are Gen X here, I think. Batman entered the chat and Karen. Okay. Real life PI and YouTube PI live mashup. Um, oh, Alexis, you put a little avatar in your thing. Um, Barry, I appreciate you very much. We're here with you, Sam, and we come here when you have the time and bandwidth to invite us into your space, my crazy space. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. I really, really, really do. I like being here with you guys. I like talking to you. I like sharing all the stuff that's going on. But, I'm gonna be 52. And yes, I know Tanika is 52 and she's got a toddler and a new baby on the way, but that woman is superwoman as far as I'm concerned. I've got the cat and I've got me and a lot of data. Laura from Interesting Captures, which if you guys are not subbed to her channel, you 100% should be. She says, I think I speak for most here, but I know for sure I speak for me. If there's anything I can do to help you out, I am available and I'm here. we are going to do our collaboration video is what we're going to do. And I'm excited for that. And we need to probably have a conversation to make that happen, and not a text one, but like an actual. Barry says, I come to Sam because I know she knows her business and enjoys sharing your experience with us. Well, Barry, I do try. Well, thank you, Kelly Collins. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. You're not complaining. Yeah, so like um it should be cool to be able to um I've told you before, like what I see in my everyday work, the cases that I get, the stuff I'm working on is not what you're watching on YouTube. Do I think some of my trials will be streamed this year? Yes, I do. If they go, I think they will. I think some of them will stream, but I don't think they're going to be another Sarah, another Karen, or a Kober. I don't think they're going to be to that level. But what I do take from those cases, to the extent that I'm able to follow them right now, is the digital stuff, right? The testimony regarding the phones and all of those things. And to that end, I wasn't able to watch the most recent Lori Vallow Daybell, whatever her name, trial, but with Joe Schmo and Squeegee from Trial TV Live, I'm going to do a collab of some sort with them, right, on the digital stuff, because they were talking about the FBI cast report. I have an FBI cast report sitting in a pile over here. These are things that I encounter. So to the extent that the cases that you guys are watching, um, to where I can find the overlap of what that's like from sort of behind the scenes, that's what I want to bring to you. Um, Larry says, have Henry do some live streams. He can do it. Just leave the camera on him while you're at work. The Henry came, seriously. Uh, Larry, this is where I work, right here on this large desk with way too many computer monitors. And sometimes he joins me, and I don't appreciate it very much at all, as he likes to chew on my office supplies, including pens, like that. I took the ink out. So he'll eat paper. I froze. Why am I froze? Oh, I froze on my other screen. Okay. He chews on cords and he bites me. So, there's that. Um, Hi, Superball the cat, Squeegee. Larry's 52 also. Laura says I'm young. She's 58. Squeegee's older than 52. Barry is 38 and can't keep his laundry up. Well, we're not talking about laundry because that's a whole other thing. Um, Hi guys. Hi everybody. I didn't say hi to before. Um, okay. So yeah, I don't think that the Florida justice system can handle more than one Sarah Boone either. Um, Amy Cruz, sadly, catnip does not make Henry any better. So we're gonna study one of Henry's crimes, and it's a crime against me. And we are here to talk about lay witnesses, which are the non-experts. Um, oh my God, yeah, uh, Jeremy DeWitt, that's exactly right. Laura, Alexis, if you have the link for Laura's channel, can you um they push the trial? You guys, okay. If you want crazy, you need to go to Interesting Captures Laura's channel, which if we can't get it into the chat, we'll link it in the notes or whatever. You guys have got to go watch this guy. He is nuts. And of course he's from Florida. He is from Florida, and his trial, I believe, was supposed to start like on Monday. Um, so but also Laura is the person that whose grandmother lived in the same apartment building as John Gacy, and we're gonna do a collab on that. So Yes. Okay, I hear you. Yes, I'm starting the show. Okay, so we're gonna watch Henry commit a crime. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Laura, for dropping trials now in July. Well, great. I've got one too in July. But I'll do what I can. But the videos that yeah, Barry, me too. Okay, so I'm sorry. Yes, Alexis, I know I need to get to my subject matter. Laura's live earlier saw me doing some existential questioning how he could be such a thing for so long. You guys, cannot make up the people that live here. Maybe it's the water. All right, we're gonna watch this little. If you're not watching your screen, guys, hopefully I'll actually get this right. We're gonna watch 22 seconds of Henry committing a crime against me, and then you're going to have to identify him. But you have to stay till the end to identify. Okay, ready? Let's see if I can do it. Hi there. Yes. Pause. Oh, God. I'm still mastering StreamYard. You know this is true. And I can't make the video any bigger because um I just can't. Okay, it's big enough. All right. Ready?
Stop. Stop. Ow. You know that hurts, right?
Okay. Did you catch that? Gonna have to remember non-consensual by storm. I believe they call it assault and or battery, and I can't remember which is which, but he had the intent to harm me. All right, so now we're gonna actually talk about some lay witness stuff. If let's see. So then I'm gonna test your memory, and that'll be so much fun. All right. He did pounce anyway. He does not know what no means. Okay, so the topic is how eyewitness misidentification can send people, innocent people, to prison. And you know what would be a really good thing is if I had this big enough to where I could actually read it. Just love getting old and I can't see anything anymore. This is so great. So we are going to talk about memory. So are you guys it was felony feline assault, you guys are right. Yeah. But it was intentional, Barry. It really was. Okay. So there are a lot of factors that compromise the reliability of eyewitness evidence, which are counterintuitive and not widely known. Most people believe that highly stressful events are particularly memorable. So you assume that you would never forget the face of someone who robbed you at gunpoint. Um, However, the high levels of stress that most of us would naturally experience during a crime actually impede reliable memory formation. Research has also taught us that people who tend to focus their attention on a weapon, um, rather than the face. So um, we've got, sorry, I need to go over here because I really cannot see. One day, you guys, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to have all my crap together. But then what fun would that be if I actually did that? Um, and I can't see it over there either. There we go. Okay, courts have embraced approaches like giving special instructions in eyewitness cases or allowing expert testimony to provide jurors with the information they need to reach fair and accurate verdicts. How many of you guys watched Karen Reed Part 2? Oh my God, Kelly Collins, you were really robbed at gunpoint? That's horrible. I'm so sorry. Did any of you guys watch, as Melanie Little calls it, season 2 of the Karen Reed situation? Barry says, I hope I could remember who did the thing to me, but if someone was walking their dog behind them, I probably couldn't tell you what breed, and definitely not if they were in on it at the time. Blurry focus. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I would remember because I sort of try to pride myself on remembering things outside of, clearly don't remember things here. But like if I'm out in the world somewhere, I try to like pay very close attention. However, we established about 6 months ago that my memory is like Swiss cheese. So there, that is. So, okay, C. Morales, she did in fact watch the Karen Reed part two. So the only reason why I bring it up is because the testimony from the EMT who worked on John O'Keefe, who was lying in the snow, was last year, was that he had to cut a giant puffy coat off of John O'Keefe. But guess what? John O'Keefe was not wearing a big puffy coat. The EMT was wrong and apparently didn't keep very good notes either. So just wanted to bring that up. Yeah, Larry, yes, absolutely, Massachusetts. Um, Kelly says, yeah, the police acted like I should know, but his hand was shaking so badly, I was trying to get out of the way of his gun. Oh, God. Well, I'm sorry. Timothy Nuttall, yes, thank you. That's the name. And yes, Larry, Massachusetts has been engaging in witch hunts and witch trials for a very long time. But um, so memory also deteriorates while we store it. Research dating back to the 19th century shows we rapidly forget what we've seen and heard, and that memory doesn't improve over time, as this forgetting curve illustrates. So apparently here at the beginning, you have like immediate recall, but look at the drop off after 9 hours, and then at days, it starts to go even worse, right? I mean, I yeah. So the information that we learn after witnessing an event. So you witnessed an event that I showed you, right? So what we learn after witnessing an event from other witnesses, police investigators, with the media, as well as all the ways in which we are asked questions about what we saw, can profoundly have an effect on our memories, which I would believe that to be true. I believe a lot of things have a profound effect on our memories. How did the courts deal with eyewitnesses? That's a great question. They impeached them, right? We'll get to, so I'm doing this just little bit of facts about memories, and then we're gonna talk about I'm gonna play a video first. And then as soon as I find my video, did I remember I didn't add it back. Hold on. I've got it open on tab. I've got a little video, so let me, clearly my memory is fantastic. Share my screen. This one. Let's do that. All right.
Become contaminated is when misinformation gets added in, often without you realizing. This can happen because of the way a question gets asked or by listening to other reports of the event. A classic study published in 1974 by researchers at the University of Washington was one of the first to test how the wording of questions affects eyewitness testimony. Specifically, they were looking into leading questions. They had 150 undergrads come to a lab, watch a video of a car accident, and then answer questions about it. And one key question affected their responses. Some participants were asked how fast were the cars going when they hit each other, while others were asked how fast were the cars going when they smashed each other. Those who heard smashed estimated the cars were going a little faster. And a week later, when they were asked if there was any broken glass, those who heard smashed were more likely to say yes when there wasn't any. So the way this leading question was phrased seemed to affect their memories. Talking with other witnesses can also muddle things. A study published in 2017 by researchers from California State University had 289 undergrads watch a video of a carjacking in groups of 5, then report what they saw one at a time. 2 people per group were actually double agents. They were trained to say certain things, including the totally false idea that the carjacker had a tattoo on his neck. After talking, there was a delay ranging from 5 minutes to 1 week. Then participants were told to pick the suspect out of a lineup of pictures. The longer the delay, the more the misinformation affected them. In some sessions, the suspect wasn't actually in the lineup of pictures. After the 5-minute delay, about 29% of people chose a photo of a vaguely similar person with a neck tattoo rather than someone who looked a lot like the suspect. After just 50 minutes, 48% of people followed the misinformation, and after a week, 60% did. When the suspect was in the lineup, that effect still occurred, but people were only misled after the week delay and the effect wasn't as strong. Confidence is pretty important when it comes to accuracy too. We usually have a good sense of
I'm getting bitten. Please, no, this is not a good time. Hi, Tanika. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Um, so there are a bunch of different factors. Place and manner in which about eyewitness identification, right? So, C. Morales, he's back. He's back. He's gonna bite me any second. Hi, could we wait? Just uh, hmm. So here are some of the factors that affect the reliability of eyewitness identification. Place and manner in which the identification was conducted, opportunity to see, you know, how in TV shows it used to be like, Mrs. Jones, do you wear glasses? And how far can you see without your glasses? And were you wearing glasses that night? Yeah. Any previous identification by the victim to the witness, accuracy of victim witness prior description of the suspect, previous failure of the person to identify the suspect, time lapse between offense and identification process, level of certainty demonstrated by the victim witness. I have got to fix the layout on my screen, you guys. It is just not happening. Hi, OnlyFan. Welcome. Amy Cruz says, my memory is so bad that by the time someone replies to me on chat, I don't know what they're talking about. I feel you, girl. I have to scroll up. Mary says, I remember what I want to remember, like school and work, and best at what I want to be good at, and the rest may fall whenever it may. Whee. All right. So there are good and bad practices for eyewitness, lay witness identification. I guess what we're talking about is eyewitness, eyewitnesses. That's what we're talking about. So here's some stuff that the police should not do. One, race is an issue. That should be no surprise. Cross-race identifications. There are complex explanations for the phenomenon that stem from profound and persistent racial segregation. But cases involving cross-racial identification must be treated with particular care, and police must be especially vigilant about using proper identification procedures. There was, okay, so the information I'm showing you guys is from an article from the Innocence Project. And I always try to cite my sources. So this Duke University School of Law professor who has closely studied the Innocence Project cases identified evidence of suggestive police practices in almost 80% of misidentification cases. That's huge, you guys. It is critical that we all understand that it's only in a rare case that an eyewitness intentionally provides a misidentification. When eyewitnesses are mistaken, they are not lying. They sincerely believe that what they have that they've identified the right person and have often been led to that belief by poor or biased investigations. Is this when I get to tell my story now? Oh, yeah. Okay. So practices that increase the chances of misidentification include using lineups in which the suspect stands out or is the only person who truly fits the description, putting the same suspect in repeated identification procedures, making the suspect seem more and more familiar to the eyewitness, unnecessarily using a show up where only a single witness is presented. Oh, thank you. Barry just gave out 10 Florida PICM memberships to Joe Schmo, Marianne Coates, Nashe, Ohio Palm Mom, Beach Bum, Checks and Cherries, Sarah Bridget, Ace, Helen B, and Joe Quayle. That was very nice of you. Thank you so much. If you got one of those memberships, be sure, and you're here, be sure that you thank Barry. Super Kelly G, so glad to have you. You won't be able to be a witness for the identification. Okay, so this is where I get to tell my story. Okay, so one of the most egregious issues or egregious incidences of eyewitness misidentification goes like this. There was a case that I had that I got back 20 years after it happened. It's not the one that's still sitting in my hallway, it's a different one. One of the things that happened to this man before trial was that the victim was brought into the courtroom where the defendant was sitting alone in the jury box. And the attorney with the victim said, "This is John Doe." Obviously not his name. And he was the only person in the courtroom. And they turn around and they walk back out. So she goes to testify. They say, "Can you identify John Doe?" She says, "Yes, that's him right over there." You've seen this, you guys, in trials all the time, right? Please identify the witness and something they're wearing or where they're sitting. Well, it turns out that this victim of this crime, she set the whole thing up. That's why she couldn't identify him. She didn't know him. She and his co-defendant were setting up her boyfriend, who was a dealer, and my guy got looped into it. The co-defendant served 3 years. My guy got 30, and he didn't participate. Gotta love justice. Um, mm, mm, mm. So on the Kelly Collins, it depends on your device about receiving gift memberships. So it depends. Are you watching from a computer, a television, a phone? And if it's an iPhone, it makes a difference. You're on an iPhone, that's why. So the YouTube app is not friendly for that. You have to go to Safari on iPhone and go into YouTube itself and sign in there. And then you can do the memberships and you can turn on like received gift, and you can also choose to become a member. It's not on an iPhone app. Okay, so we talked about some bad practices of the police, and that was some very bad behavior by an attorney, which of course did not get remedied. So scientifically supported best practices for law enforcement are now required in more than half the states, and organizational bodies that support the best practices include the American Bar Association, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, U.S. Department of Justice, and then NAACP. I'm guessing Massachusetts may not be on that list. I was told You guys about the iPhones. I live for my Apple products. You know, I live in the Apple ecosystem. I don't know if the Commonwealth of Massachusetts embraces best practices. Police officers must instruct witnesses that the perpetrator may or may not be present in a lineup in order to help ensure that these witnesses don't assume that the perpetrator is there. Feel pressured to make a choice and pick someone out who most resembles their memory of the perpetrator. So some of these practices include that the officer who's administering the lineup should not have anything to do with the case. I have read in some recent police reports who the people that were doing the photo lineups were officers who didn't know anything about a case, and they documented what they did, and they are showing them like photo by photo. So again, that don't automatically assume the person is in the lineup. They should be made to conform so that no one stands out. And that was another issue in the photo lineup of that same John Doe. In that case, there were just issues all over the place. And you know, when we got his case back into court over some prosecutorial misconduct and other things, do you think he got a new trial? No, he didn't. So this is what the guy said, or I think we said this earlier, like your confidence in identification can be sort of finessed artificially. It's important to immediately ask the eyewitness how confident they are in the IDs they're making. Police should never permit repeated identification procedures and only use show-ups when necessary. Do the courts use hypnotists for recall of a witness? Not that I'm aware of, Great Gams. Maybe on TV, but I've never, not here in my little part of the world. Identification procedures should be recorded, and there should be training. All these things seem very obvious. I know, Barry, you said this before. So many attorneys and legal people are Mac users, because I thought being fax people, they would be more PC folks. Well, so I started out my computer life on Macs in the late 80s in high school. And then sometime in the early 90s, I had a Windows laptop. So that went on for a long time. And then when I went to visit law schools in 2010, everybody had a Mac. I was like, well, I have to be like everybody else, even though I'm 37 years old. So I got a Mac, and I will never, ever, I have right here next to me is a Windows laptop that I loathe, but I have it because, as we will see going on as we look into more of the digital forensic stuff, as the cell phone forensics and all the forensics, right? I can only run some of it on Windows because it's .exe, and Macs won't run that without a program called Parallels. And so either I need to cough up the $100 to run Parallels again, or format a drive over there and bring it over here. And so there, I think that one thing separates me, well, maybe more than one, but one of the things that separates me from some of the other private investigators that I'm aware of or familiar with here in Florida is that I understand that the need for understanding the digital stuff is gigantic. Like, it's huge. There's nothing more important right now. And it's a challenge, right? Because technology is changing so fast all the time. Everything's changing. And as we well know by now, I don't get training on any of it because I'm not in-house at any government office, and all the main programs are designed for law enforcement. But that doesn't mean that the information isn't out there. It just means I have to work that much harder to learn it, to find it and to learn it. And I will still never have access to everything the government does. It will still take me much longer. And I will still have to help attorneys find experts when I'm like, hey, this is beyond the scope, especially when the FBI flies in to testify at your client's trial. That's always fun. So I don't know, Barry, I switched to the MacBook Pro to go to law school in 2011, and I loved that computer. I had an Android phone at the time. The Android died, iPhone had come out. I got an iPhone. I was like, oh my God, this stuff works together. And now I have, you know, everything everything is Mac except for this Windows laptop over here, which I avoid like the plague, but I own nonetheless. Okay, so oh yeah, I always forget. Hi, could you guys hit the like button if you haven't? If you enjoy the mad ramblings of me. Um yeah, so oh, and also if you haven't subscribed and you want to help a girl out, I would love it if you subscribed. It would be fantastic. If you're on Replay Club, please say hi. Replay crew. Please say hi. I sometimes get comments from you guys, and some of you leave comments on my post like, "Hey, I watch you on replay," and I was like, "The video will say just say hi so I know you're watching," because I never get comments on like my streams, which well, I'd love to know you're there. But yes, if you could hit like, I would appreciate it. Yes, Tanika's 2 cents says, I got my first iPhone in 2011. I was a BlackBerry gal prior to that. Okay, can I just mourn for a moment over the loss of the BlackBerry? For my prior profession, um, BlackBerry was the most outstanding device ever. Plus, I could drive my Suburban because I did used to drive a Suburban and text on my BlackBerry at the same time. I loved that. That it hurt my heart when Blackberries went away. It really did. But it was fantastic. Barry says, Sam, if not tonight, don't talk about Aperture, but when you're ready, spell the T on Aperture. So Barry, I am going to come back to, I know I promised you the video that I canceled was meant to be about the experts and the things. And I did watch, and I need to go back and I need to rewatch. There's a lot of information in the testimony from the Celebrite guy, from the Aperture guy. I'm talking about the Karen Reed case for people who are wondering what I'm currently rambling about. The Celebrite guy, the guy who, all the guys, right? All of that information. I was not able to sit and like focus on it. And I tried to go back and rewatch a couple of times, and there were so many things there, right? Like I put in my thumbnail, there were just so many things. But that information is going to come back around. So I owe you a video on that. You're going to get like a series of videos about those kinds of things, the phones and the car data and um the search data time, right? Like don't the search I don't even have the headspace or obviously the words right now to wrap my head around that. But I've said this before, and um, Barb, if you are listening to this on the replay, thank you for reminding me. Thank you, first of all, for your very kind and supportive email. I should have said that 2 weeks ago. But also, thank you for reminding me that what I have said before is that digital is the new DNA. That is what is going to convict people. So we run into this situation of like, okay, well, who's right? It, so yeah, we will be coming back to that. Like I had promised you a stream on that. I went off on many tangents. I'll get there. I'll get there, I promise. Barry said he was jealous of the BlackBerry people. So it was funny. I was, oh wow, that's crazy, Laura. I was in Kentucky for my prior profession, and I was meeting with two other, well, I was drinking with two other ladies who were also in that profession. And um so we all sit down at the bar and we all like take our phones out of our purse and put them down on the bar. And every single one of us had the exact same model of BlackBerry in a different color. And it was just because what we did for a living was like in the interior design business, and you needed your hands to be able to. So having a device that, like, I was like, I'm gonna shatter a touchscreen device. I've never, like, how am I gonna deal with a touch? This is never gonna work. And somehow I now I live now I live this. Um, so yeah. Um, Laura says she got rid of her BlackBerry. Well, I don't think they make them anymore, Laura. Because they were able to follow me and allow people to contact me when I'd go out of the country for vacations. Well, that's kind of creepy. Um, so Barry says, don't talk about aperture. That proved nothing, and rookie errors in analyzing data. Yeah, I agree, Larry Powers. If you learn anything from Karen Reed, it's never go to Massachusetts. A minor traffic violation can end you up in court for fighting for your life. Yeah, I actually did live in Massachusetts for about 9 months, in Boston, of all places. And I'm glad I left because of the weather, but okay. Uh, So we are hard pressed to imagine, this comes from a case out of Connecticut. We are hard pressed to imagine how there could be more suggestive ID procedure than placing a witness on the stand in open court, confronting the witness with the person who the state has accused of committing the crime, and then asking the witness if he can identify the person who committed the crime. If this procedure is not suggestive, then no procedure is suggestive. Um, so, okay, a lot of the information that I have in this Innocence Project document that I pulled all of these fun facts from, they are talking about a Connecticut case. And oddly enough, in the searches I did, I could not find, and doesn't mean it's not out there, I just was not able to find it today when I needed it. I could not find current information, current statistics on wrongful convictions based on eyewitness identification. What I did find was was information from 2020, and it said that, and I think it's probably in here. It said that the DNA wrongful convictions were strongly associated with wrongful um, eyewitness identification convictions. And I came across a case that I'm really interested in, which other people have apparently heard of, but I was not aware of. And so I may take a peek into that for other purposes. Okay. So here's the statistic from 2020, right? Eyewitness misidentification is consistent and outsized contributor to wrongful convictions. You guys know that I'm really interested in wrongful convictions. I'm really interested in this process that is very much stacked against the defense to begin with. Nationally, 69% of DNA exonerations, 252 out of 367 cases, have involved eyewitness misidentification, making it the leading contributing cause of these wrongful convictions. Further, the National Registry of Exonerations has identified at least 450 non-DNA based exonerations involving eyewitness misidentifications. That should scare you. That should scare you. That is scary. First, I didn't even know there was a National Registry of Exonerations until today. But I do now. And that's from 2020. So that's 5 years ago. We wouldn't have 2025 statistics. So that's not including 4 years worth of statistics. Is that not nuts? Is that not nuts? Barry says this is the Cheshire case. I'm in Connecticut, and this had a lot to do with when we got rid of the DP. Got it back, got rid of it, brought it back, got rid of it again. Afton, I did not see how many were cross-racial. And Barry, the case is Connecticut v. Dickinson. I have a thing that's like covering part of my slide. We'll give you a link of the of where I got my information because that's what they teach you to do in law school. There are 82 exoneration cases in which one eyewitness identification was the only evidence presented, including the cases of Marvin Anderson, Ricky Johnson, and Clifford Jones. I've never heard of those three. There are also a significant number of wrongful conviction cases in which multiple eyewitnesses were mistaken, and the conviction rested entirely on that evidence. That is insane. That is insane. Do I follow the Marshall Project? No, Afton, I do not. But Alexis, will you make a note, please, to look at the Marshall Project? Why do I feel like I just heard about that recently? I mean, I should probably not be sitting on here talking about memory when I've got one. All right, are you guys ready for your eyewitness test? I need to know, were you here in the beginning? Were you here in the beginning? Did you watch the crime? It's important. I'll wait. I'll wait for you to tell me. hmm Henry crimed against me, and I showed you a video, and so that made you an eyewitness to the crime. Afton didn't see the crime. I need to know how many of you didn't see the crime. Tanika was late. Afton didn't see it. Um, Larry, yeah, I've got a case like that right now. Larry said during the trial he served on a jury for Texas v. Anthony Michael Bowden. I wanted to shout, "You dumb mofo," when he handed his phone over to detectives without a warrant. Same thing with Sarah Banks. Yes. Okay, so I have some of you who saw the crime and some of you who did not. Alexis, tell me, should I play the crime again or should I see? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to show you the photo ID lineup. And then once you guys have told me who committed the crime, I'll re-show the crime. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, Larry, I didn't know you were Henry, sir, you have counsel. Henry has a lawyer. His name is Scotty Tenard. Okay. Where is where's my photo lineup? Where is my photo lineup? What did I bring it up as? Photo pack. All right. Let me see. First, you have to remove that from the screen. Oh, you sure do. Oh, guys, add this to the stage. All right. Here's my first photo lineup. I need you to, if you were watching at the beginning of this stream, when I showed you the crime, I need you to come back now, please. If you watched the crime happen, if you watched when I was brutally, maliciously attacked by the investigator, how do we say that? The investigator. I need you to, if you watch that 22-second video, I need you to come back to your screen now, please. And I need you to pick out the culprit. Kelly says all of them. No. Mom says 9. Barry says, I won't say because the video is blocked by motion. And Tanika said, I didn't see the crime, but I picked number 3 because he looks. Number 9 has that unhinged look. Larry Powers says 5. I'll show you guys the crime again in a minute. Okay, so Barry Adams picks 7 if we're in a one-party state. Laura, you do not have to testify. TJ says 4. No, it's just one of my ridiculous ideas, you know. So while you guys are trying to determine who committed this heinous crime against me, what have I done wrong with this photo pack? What have I done wrong that we learned that we shouldn't do during this ramble of a stream? This is bad practices here. Okay. So, do I have any other votes on this one? Cindy Stovall says number 10. Steve Morales says number 4. Okay, so we've got a couple of votes for number 4. Some are close up, Kelly Collins says, right? That's one of the bad things I did. Well, one, you jujued it because none of them were in the context of when he did what he did. Okay, but how many photo lineups do you see, or even like in-person lineups on the TV where they're like holding a gun to someone's face, right? That doesn't really happen. Number 1 says, looks like who me? Great gams. Gams. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but well, I mean, how many photos do you get that are in the context of the crime? Although I did think about giving you a still, but then that would give it away. So, um, okay. You asked which one Larry says, you asked which one attacked you. No presumption of innocence. You got me. I did. I just broke one of the rules, right? I should say that it doesn't mean my attacker was in this photo lineup and you don't have to choose any of them. Mm-hmm. Different backgrounds. That's right. These are cats, though. Mom got one. Too many in the lineup. That's right. So at most, you guys are good. Okay, we're learning. We're learning. All right. So I will tell you that thus far, one person has guessed the correct answer. Okay. So now, is this a better photo pack? Because there's only 6. And also, what's wrong with the way I did this one? 6-pack is standard. Yes, Tanika. You are correct. Tanika says number 2 is the culprit. Okay, but she didn't see the crime. You didn't see the crime. What's wrong with this 6-pack? Well, Tanika's has got it out for number 2. Okay, so mom says there's only one close up, right? What else? They show different parts. Some are face only, others are whole body, and others are partial busts. Number 6 is a close up. Yep. There's one other issue that none of y'all are catching. Barry Adams says, which one is two? I know, I forgot to transfer the numbers. So, okay, yes, top left and then across and then down. So I'm seeing your comments and you guys are like, Barry, yes. So top left is number one, top middle is number two, top right is three, bottom left is four, bottom center is five, and right bottom is six. Okay, so let's see. Kelly says number four is high. Tanika says red background. You're correct. That's what is wrong, right? So we don't have a consistent background. The red, they're not numbered. I know. I apologize. It's because there had to be some last minute adjustments, and I was in the middle of an important conversation that I could not get out of in time to pull my thoughts together correctly. So I was panicking as because that's what I do. Tanika says number two was number three in the first array. Barry says bias. Tanika says who doesn't know how numbering works seriously. And C. Morales says two. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you that the culprit is in these six. I'm going to tell you, Barry, that I just took, so we'll go back. We'll go back. Okay. All right. I apologize. I did not transfer the numbers over. So I took out, I believe, number one from this one, number five, number 10, and I think four. No, I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't get the numbers transferred. Okay, so here are 10, right? There's too many. So here we take it down to six. And now I'm going to tell you that the culprit is 100% was in both. And no, it's not all of them. Mom says it's six again. Laura says it's four or six. Alexis says Larry. Sam wanted to play a trick like that on chat, but decided to play straight. I think you told me it wouldn't. I wasn't supposed to, didn't you? All of them. If you ID the cat from the first 10, you should be able to ID them from the six. Otherwise, your ID is sus. Mom says 6 and 9 are the same cat. Bottom left, that's my 7, but you just buys the pool with that do and redo. All right. Okay. So best practices would have been to start out with 6, right? To have all similar backgrounds and to try to get them to, I mean, you guys, it's the internet and it's a cat. The culprit is in here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you're supposed to do now. And that is you're supposed to show them individually. Do we think one is the culprit? Yes or no? Sam Proctor joined us. I'm sorry for anybody who did not watch the Karen Reed trial because you think I'm crazier than normal. But some of these jokes are from that trial. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of votes for no. So Tanika, girl, you should no, she's not seen the crime. All right. Is it number 2? Is number 2 the culprit from the video? We know Henry is the perpetrator of the crime against me. So it's not a number. Maybe that's cheating, Laura. Okay. I'm getting a consensus from like the 4 of you who are participating. This is not sir. No, Laura, it's not all of them. What about number 3? Is this the perpetrator of that vicious, horrible, unprovoked attack? Tanika says, how do we know? We haven't heard Henry's side. Henry has a lawyer. His name is Larry Powers from Texas, apparently. And he's invoked Henry's right not to speak. Tanika says, yes, it's number 3. C. Morales says, yes. My mother says, no. Laura wants to question Henry. Larry Powers says, well, if Hank Brennan was here, he'd say 6. TJ says, no. Laura says, no. How about this one, number 4? Cindy also said no. Number 4. Is this the attacker? No. All right. Guys are good. Guys are good. All right. How about this one? Henry has Scotty and Larry only better shot he would have is having Bob Alessi join. Let me tell you, I have a lawyer crush on Bob Alessi. And how is that man 67 years old? Because really, I would just like to be in the same room as that man. 5. So Tanika says no. Laura's convinced it's every single one. Larry says 5, final answer. Kelly Collins says no. My mother says no. Laura's now changed her answer to no. TJ says no. Afton Ford says yes. So to Cindy. Tanika says your mother is here easy. What is 5? 5 is a cat. Alessi is Bay, and I don't believe he's 67. And even if he is Bay. Yes, this is true. Okay. How about number 6? Number 6 looks guilty. My yes was about Alessi being 60. I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun. Kelly Collins says it's number 3 or number 6. All right. Nope. Mom says no. All right. Wait, that's a different 6. Tanika says no, he's here for the red background. So Tanika says this is a red herring. What about number 7? Kelly Collins is sticking with number 3. There says I'm bamboozled. My tot in round 1 became 4 in round 2, and he's not even here in round 3. Tanika says, is that 6 from the 6-pack? That's 3. Barry Adams says, oh, 7. TJ, yes. Kelly Collins, 3 or 7. Yes. Mom, no. Barry Adams, 7. Alexis says, will you play the video again before the reveal? Yes, I absolutely will. Tanika said, his eyes scare me. Alexis, are you keeping track at all of what we should have come up with a voting system? And I'm sorry, you guys, I did mess up with the numbering thing. Like I said, I was tending to other things. I apologize. And you know I'm always like scrambling. All right. Here's 8. I know, right? Afton, I wish I could get my eyeliner to look like that too. Here's number 8. Is the 8 the culprit? I will go back and show you the crime. And I won't tell you who it is. Okay. Well, Tanika says we're having fun, and she did not even witness the attack. Yes, it is a very pretty cat, but we're gonna go no. I know, send up a poll. But I screwed it all up with the numbers, right? Because I showed you, and you're right, I didn't think it through because I came up with it like on the fly, this whole concept. So what I did was 1980s glamour shot, no way involved in an attack. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. This is number 9. I think we've got one more. So I came up with this idea on the fly, and then as my ideas do, it sort of expanded a little bit. And so, no, I didn't think the numbering thing through. I have not shown you any different cats. I took some cats away from the photo pack that had 10 in it. Okay. So all your cats are still there. I just screwed up with the numbering, and I apologize. And if Barry Adams had done this, the numbers would be correct. Does Henry have any tattoos or scars? My mother says this is Henry. Looks like this one. All right, so this cat is guilty, apparently. And what about this one? Number 10, collar, bells. He used to have a collar. He doesn't have a collar anymore because he outgrew his collar. No way I'd put bells on that cat. I would never sleep or get anything done. Laura, you voted for every cat. Everybody says no on this one. All right. It's I'm too sexy for her. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna find God, I did not want to see myself that big. How do I exit out of full screen? Good Lord. All right. I'm going to find the crime. I'm going to find the crime. I need you guys to come back to your screen. Nonchalant or appropriate chalant balance. I'm reading your chats on a bigger screen to my right, which is why I'm always looking over here. If that annoys you, I apologize. If my blinds behind me bother you, I apologize. That's also the investigator's fault. All right. Are we ready? Wait, hold on. I got it.
Stop. Stop. Ow. You know that hurts, right?
All right. Oh, well, I lost my big screen. Okay, so I'm going to take you back to, did everybody get a chance to watch the crime? So my experiment was that I showed you guys this video from at the very beginning of my stream, right? This is just a silly thing, of course, that I made up. So Tanika wants to watch it again. Of course she does. All right, Tanika, girl, because it's you, I'll play it one more time. Y'all pay attention now. Here we go.
Stop. Stop. Ow. You know that hurts, right?
Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our photo pack, and I'm going to take you back to the original with too many cats. I'm not provoking him. He does this to me. Yeah, he is turning a really weird color. He is so intentional. When he lays those ears back, that's it. It's over. I was not provoking him. The alleged victim entrapped Henry by putting her arm in his. Yeah, I understand. Barry says when Zeus and I lived in the condo, we had hanging blinds at sliding door, and I could tell on work calls if he was about to pull a stunt by by telling if they twitched on cam. My blinds always look insane, and I tried to straighten them before stream. All right, so here we go. The culprit is in this photo pack. So far, I've counted two that got it right. Tanika, you cannot change your vote, ma'am. How would you feel if you were going to be arrested for that crime and you were saying, well, it could be you or it could be you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tanika, you cannot have two votes. If you are picking a criminal out of a lineup, you have to choose one. You can't see it's this one or this one. You don't want to send the wrong cat to jail. Well, he bites. He might be mean to the other inmates. I don't know. Okay. 7 is scared of being arrested. All right. You guys tell me which. Barry, I'm not going to read that because nobody but those who watch Gary is going to understand. All right. Is it time to tell you? Can you drop the charges and send the cat to counseling? Now, let me ask you this, Tanika. Every time Sarah called the police on George, did George get to go to counseling? No, he did not. Ma'am, you know that. You know that. I watch your channel. You know that. Mm-mm. So, do you all agree, first of all, that the cat that committed the crime against me is in this photo pack? He will do it again. Know that. Tanika is using her Henry emojis. If you guys aren't using your emojis from your memberships, we've got Henry emojis, including um, he's there right now. All right, so I will tell you, it is not number 1. It is not number 2. It is not number 3. It is not number 4. It is not number 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10. The culprit is number 7. So even my mother got it wrong. Barry got it right. And I'll tell you something. The one that my mom kept coming back to, the close up of the face, when I Googled cats to look like him earlier, that picture made me stop and go, huh, why does Google have a picture of Henry? And I couldn't, that was how the picture was. It was that close up. So I couldn't do anything to zoom it back. But it was from a Google search. It wasn't Henry. It took me a minute. I just sat there staring at it. Super Kelly G says, "Oh my God, this is hilarious. I've been on the freeway and can't participate, but I did miss it." Sorry, guys. He needs drug rehab. Alexis says, "I did too. It's okay, P.I. Sam, Mom. I picked that one too." Once I said, Tanika got it. So, okay. Um, when I watched the video again after staring at like I did this earlier today. You guys are hilarious. Don't apologize for anything. But some of you would make terrible witnesses. But as I watched the video and I looked back at the photos, Tanika, you're right. It's the eyes. That's the main giveaway. Barry Adams says, "This was so fun, but just shows us how much we're ready to believe me or my lying eyes and still get it wrong." Does Henry have any tattoos? Yes, Henry has a tattoo. He does. He actually has a tattoo because I adopted him and he was fixed and he has the tattoo that says he was fixed. My mom says, and I've seen so many pics of Henry. Tanika says, "So eyewitness testimony is if the statistics I gave you earlier, Tanika, were not enough, then surely my super professional cat photo lineup should have sealed the deal for you." ChatGPT said it was 15. There was no 15. There was no 15. Larry Powers, are you or are you not his attorney? So yes. Henry is in photo 7. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. It's um, just one of my crazy ideas that came to me. It's hard though, right? If you look at all of these different cats, if you hadn't noticed his eyes in the video, and actually, when I picked this photo of him, I didn't notice how his eyes were in the video. Like I was just looking for a picture that wouldn't be a dead giveaway because you guys have seen him. You've seen him in person and well, I mean, on the screen and then, on photos and all of that. But number 9 had me like doing a double take because Henry is turning brown. When he started as a kitten, he looked a lot more like number 10. He was white and like a pale gray, but he's morphing into a tabby cat. And he's not as long haired as number 1 or number 5. Henry has, see the ear fur in number 10? You can see it in 8 and some in his 7. Those are called ear furnishings. And for a long time, that's been very distinctive on him. Barry says that the ferals who get caught and fixed and released have nicks in their ears. Not sure if tattoo or more painful. Well, I think they're knocked out when they get their tattoo. I don't know. Kelly Collins says, I guess cross species identification is unreal. Afton says I had it down to 7 and 9 just from a hair length. Tanika says, I feel bad for Henry. Maybe he didn't know it was a crime. Maybe he thought it was fun. He does think it's fun. When he lays his ears back, I know I'm in for it. And also, he comes and he sniffs around my leg just real gently, and then he licks my leg, and then I know I'm getting bitten. Barry says defense counsel Larry did typically defensive and stayed silent the moment facts were against the client. Afton said, did Henry believe he had consent? Why? Because I was filming at that time. Laura says I have cat's eyes too. They change often. Do we get Henry's gold now? Yes, Kelly. Henry will give you all his gold now. So Alexis, Larry, you had me have Alexis send you the cartoon version of Harry. She makes that using AI. I was like, how are you doing that? They're so funny. Barry says cats with ear furnishings are cute. Mine got me downvoted on dating. Your own ear furnishing. I have a gazillion different photos of Henry. But like I said, this was one of my last minute whimsical ideas. Cat ear furnishings help them focus sound waves when hunting. Mine help me focus out human. You guys are so funny. All right. Well, so look. Oh, hide myself. Okay, I got you. Hold on. I got you. I'm being told to stop sharing the screen. There you go. So, for anyone who wasn't here in the beginning, go back and rewind for a second. Because I'm changing the schedule. I'm going every other week for a little while. And but I hope you keep coming back and that you will engage in more fun shenanigans with me as we go along on our little journey here, and that my antics have entertained you. Y'all be safe out there, okay?